Okay, so good morning, class 8, and today I am going to start new chapter, which is chapter 17, refraction of light and dispersion of light. And previous chapter we see reflection of light. So there are very basic difference between reflection and refraction. Let's see if this is an object, or we can say the boundary of two medium. Okay, so whenever light strike on a surface and bounce back in another direction, that's said to be reflection. But whenever light ray, okay, enter into the different medium, then it's said to be refraction. So if ray of light enter from a medium to another medium, then it is said to be refraction. We see in this chapter about refraction. Okay, so obviously light passes from one medium to another medium is known as refraction. Okay, so let's see, there are the two mediums. One is rare medium and second is denser medium. To understand about refraction of light, we have to understand about rare and denser medium. So for example, we can see that air is a medium, and obviously glass is also a medium. So air is denser medium and air is rare medium and glass is denser medium. So because the speed of light is higher in air, so it is said to be rare medium. Rare medium are those medium in which speed of light is greater, and denser medium are those medium in which the speed of light is low. So the speed of light in glass is low and the speed of light in air is high. So this is all about rare medium and denser medium. Let's see, there are two cases of refraction of light when light travel from rare medium to denser, or denser medium to rare medium. Okay, see, when incident ray come from rare medium, means air, it bend toward the normal. This dot line is normal. It bend toward the normal. Okay, it not goes in a same way. Okay, it bend toward the normal. Okay, but whenever incident ray come from denser medium to rare medium, it away from normal. Okay, so this is the basic information about the refraction of light passes through the medium in a different optical densities. Okay, so what I say that see, whenever incident ray come from rare medium and enter into denser medium, it bend toward the normal. Or in reflection, angle of incidence and angle of refraction are equal, but here angle of incidence and angle of refraction is not equal. Okay, so whenever incident ray I and R come from rare medium to denser medium, so it bend toward the normal, and whenever incident ray come from denser medium to rare medium, it away from normal. See the bend and away from this normal. So this is the angle and this angle. So this is all about from entering from one medium to another medium. Okay, let's see. Light travel at a lower speed in glass and water than in air. We say that the glass and water are optically denser than rare. Okay, and optically density is property of transparent medium. It is the measure of the speed of light through the material. Okay, so let's see the effect of refraction in our daily life. Real and apparent depth. Okay, so a swimming pool appears to be a less deep than it actual is. When seen from the above the surface of water, you observe that the depth of swimming pool is less, but actually is not less. Due to refraction, we observe that it is less. Okay, and when you put a coin into a glass, okay, then you see that you observe that this coin is above. This coin is not in depth, but actually it is in depth. Okay, consider consider a point D at the bottom of the swimming pool and the depth of the swimming pool OD. The ray of the ODO along the normal, it does not bend, emerges from the water. So actually what will happen, let's see from the figure of 17.13. Actually this is the observer eyes who observe this point, but due to refraction it observe D dash. Okay, so this is the refraction, this is the refraction. You see the D dash is the surface of swimming pool, but actually D dash is not a surface of refraction, D is a surface of actual refraction. So it obviously form, henceforth D dash is a virtual image of D, which obviously executed only due to phenomena of refraction. Okay, you can also put a marker, a pen into a glass. Okay, into a glass. Okay, you see that obviously your pen or pencil bend, your pen and pencil bend, isn't it or not? See how it bend, isn't it or not? So due to refraction it bend. Due to refraction, when obviously light enter from air to water, it bend, isn't it or not? So it is all about refraction of light. It is all about refraction of light. Okay, it is all about refraction of light. Okay, so just give me 1 second, I will show you something. See, this is obviously water and obviously air is present. Let's see how refraction take place, isn't it? So you see how this pen bend in water only due to refraction, only due to refraction. It is straight, it is obviously straight, but when it enter in water, due to change in medium, it bend, and it shows that refraction of light, isn't it or not? So this is all about refraction. So apparent bending of a pencil, it is obviously activity that I show you. Now let's discuss about the refraction by a glass slab. Okay, so glass slab, when you see a glass slab in which 2 times refraction take place, let's see the process of refraction by a glass slab. Okay, incident ray I enter in glass with refraction, angle of refraction, then after again back into air. Okay, so incident ray, this incident ray enter into glass. Okay, and then after again with the respect of this normal, it again back to air, isn't it or not? But you see how the actual incident ray displaces over there and how it come back. Okay, so whatever the distance, it is said to be displacement. And see the glass slab, air, emergent ray. Emergent ray means what? Whatever the incident ray transfer into glass and come back into air. Okay, from air incident ray, from air ray enter into glass and come back to air, that ray is said to be emergent ray. Okay, so this is all about refraction by a glass slab, in which we see how ray of light enter into glass from air and back to air, isn't it or not? Okay, so next one, after refraction by a glass slab, there is also one activity, or we see how the refraction take place by a prism. Okay, so we have seen a case of rectangular glass slab where the 2 reflecting surface of glass slab are parallel to each other, and the emergent ray, I repeat, emergent ray are those rays which enter into a medium and back from that medium, isn't it or not? From ray it enter into glass and again back to air, and whatever the ray come back from glass to air, okay, that is said to be emergent ray. Okay, and let's see, there is a rectangular glass block which is called prism, in which how this process refraction take place. Okay, through a prism. See the process and all these things are given in a figure. Okay, let's see. Incident ray I enter into prism, okay, with respect to normal. Okay, and reflected over there. Okay, reflected, and then after again back to air. Okay, so incident ray from air enter into prism and then after again back. So whatever the back is, it is emergent ray, it is refracted ray, or it is incident ray. First of all, incident ray, reflected ray and emergent ray. Okay, and all these things are said to be with respect to normal. There are the angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of emergence are there, and there is also angle of deviation, in which when we match a dot line of incident ray and emergent ray, there is an angle formed which is known as angle of deviation. So I just want to tell you, please draw figure 17.6, 17.5 and also 17.2. So it is compulsory to you to draw 17.2, 17.5 and 17.6. Okay, so we will notice that the incident and emergent ray are not parallel to each other. The emergent ray is deviated from the direction of the incident ray by the angle of deviation. Okay, and only due to refraction. This is only due to refraction. Okay, now whatever the refraction part is now done. Okay, I just want to tell you, please revise this chapter, read this chapter, then after watch my video and make notes at that time. Okay, so let's start the dispersion. What is dispersion? Okay, let's see what is dispersion. When Sir Isaac Newton placed a glass prism in a path of sunlight, he had expected that the white image of the sun on the screen, but he was surprised when he saw the result. Okay, so whenever sunlight enter into prism, then it emerge seven color. Okay, and the splitting off of light into its constituent color is called dispersion, or we can say that the splitting up of a white light or sunlight into seven color, okay, is said to be dispersion. Okay, and the patch of the colored light obtained on a screen is known as a spectrum, and the collection of all seven colors are said to be a spectrum. Okay, so dispersion is all about the splitting of a light into seven color. Okay, whenever light travel into or enter into prism, it emerges some collection of light ray. Okay, and that is said to be, the process is said to be dispersion. Okay, so a question come in your mind, what is the reason for dispersion? The reason for dispersion is that the transparent medium like a glass prism bend or diverted the different color of the light by the different amount, and the deviation in the maximum of the violet and the minimum in red, and therefore when the white light passes through a prism, the different color present it get deviated in a different amount. Hence they separated out the emerging from the prism from form a spectrum. So it is all about that the different color present in to a white light, and that is deviated by a different amount. Okay, then this splitting or dispersion take place. Okay, by a transparent medium. So this is all about the dispersion and refraction. Okay, so then after, next topic is obviously lens, and which is very important for not only this class, also for your 10th and class. Let's see, next topic is lens, or we can say lenses. A transparent medium bounded by two surfaces of which at least one is spherical, it's called a lens. Lenses are different in shape and size, and obviously there are two types of lenses. One is obviously converging lens and other is diverging lens. See, first of all I am just telling you the name, which is first is convex lens and second is concave lens. Concave lens. Why? I just tell you the shape of concave and convex. So convex is this is the size of convex and this is the size of concave. So obviously their surface is obviously inward bended, tilt inward, and obviously if this is the reflecting surface, then it is said to be concave, and if this is the reflecting surface, then it is said to be concave, and this is convex. Okay, so this is all about. Let's see why convex is said to be convergent lens. Okay, so whenever lots of ray strike on the surface of one reflecting surface of convex lens, what will happen? After refraction, all ray come at a point, or we can say that converge at a point. Okay, that's why we can say that there is a point where all ray light come, which is said to be focus. Okay, so whenever incident ray or ray strike on a surface of lens, and after refraction all the ray light come at a point, then it is said to be, we can also say that all ray of light converge at a point. That's why this lens is said to be convergent, or we say that converging lenses. Okay, and why it is said to be divergence? Okay, let's see diverging lens. So whenever incident ray, whenever lots of ray strike on into it, so after refraction no one converge at a point, all are get deviated from in other direction. That's why it is said to be diverging lens. Okay, see the figure of converging and diverging. So it is convex, all ray light converge at a point, or it is divergent, that the all ray of light is in a different direction. Okay, so it is diverging lens, which is concave lens, and it is converging lens, which is convex lens. Okay, there is an optical center of each and every spherical lenses, which is said to be center of curvature, a point where all ray light come at a point on a principal axis, we can say horizontal axis. Okay, which is said to be focus. Okay, so there are the simple terms related to lenses. First of all, principal axis. Principal axis is just a line joining two center of a spherical spheres, which are the lenses form a part. It's called principal axis. So it is principal axis. Who join the two center of a spherical mirror. There the optical centers are there. So this line is said to be principal axis, and this C1, C2 are optical center. Okay, which is what are principal focus? Let's see, this is the principal focus where all ray of light come at a point, or we can say that the point where all ray light converge. Okay, so you need to define each and every term related to lenses, like principal axis, optical center, and principal focus. Okay, and the distance between optical center and focus of a lens is called focal length. Okay, it's called focal length. So this is all about the terms related to lenses. Now let's see which kind of image formation take place in convex lens or concave lens. Okay, so next topic is image formation by a lens. We will see in the next part of this lecture. Okay, thank you. See the path of ray incident at a different point of convex lens. When incident ray come parallel to principal axis, after refraction, the refractive ray come at the point of focus. Okay, when incident ray strike on convex lens at optical center, it goes in a same direction without any deviation. Okay, and whenever incident ray come with focus after refraction, it goes parallel to principal axis. So this process and this process is totally opposite to each other. Whenever it will come parallel to principal axis, it goes by focus, and whenever incident ray go with focus, it after refraction it travel or it go parallel to principal axis. But whenever incident ray strike on optical center of convex lens, there is no deviation. It will go in a same direction. Okay, and these things helpful to understand the image formation by convex lens. So first let's see the first image formation here. This is the first image formation. Object very far off. Whenever object, the position of object is at infinity, okay, is an infinity, means the distance between lens and object is very far, then the position of image, then the position form at focus, but it is real, but it is inverted, or the size of image is smaller than object. Let's see the second one. When object placed beyond 2f, means the distance between lens and object is fixed, not infinite. If the position of object placed beyond 2f, then image formed between focus and 2f, okay, focus and 2f, but it is again real and inverted. It is real, but it is inverted. See, inverted means in downward direction, we can say inverted. Okay, and it is also smaller than object. Let's see the third case. If an object is placed at 2f, then image formed also at 2f. Okay, 2f, and here again image, the nature of image is real and inverted, and it is again a same, we can say that size of image. In this case, when object at 2f, image also form at 2f, and there is no change in the size of object, same size of object is there. Okay, let's see the another case. When object placed between focus and 2f, then image formed beyond 2f, so this case and this case is totally opposite to each other. Okay, totally opposite to each other. Let's see the next case. If an object placed at focus, it is just opposite to the first case. If an object placed to focus, the image formed at infinity, and when an object placed between focus and optical center, then what will happen? Obviously the position of an image on the same side of an object, see the same side, here object and here image, same side of an object. Okay, so this is all about the position, nature and size, of image formed by a convex lens. Okay, let's see the image formed by concave lens. The ray falling on concave lens after refraction always diverge.
always diverge. That's why concave lens is said to be diverging lens. Therefore, no matter where the object is kept, a diverging lens always form a virtual image, and which is erect and smaller in size than object, and it is formed between the optical center and the focus on the same side of lens on object. So overall, it always diverge. It always diverge after falling ray on concave lens. So overall, no matter wherever the object is there, it always form virtual image, and which is erect and smaller in size. So this is all about image formation by lenses. Okay, both concave lens and convex lens. I suggest you to please draw these all figures in your copy, and this figure also, and draw this table in your copy. And remember, this is not only help you in this class, also help you in 10th and 12th also. Thank you.